Welcome to the annual Coralville Holiday Luncheon. Chuck Scopes had just came up a minute ago and he said, man, you just can't wait to get this thing started, can you? And I said, absolutely not. I can't wait. This is exciting. It's been 2 years since we've been able to get together and have an event like this. And I think they say, you know, when you get something taken away from you and you can't do something, it makes it, you appreciate it more. And I think this event, being together with this group around the holidays, is a great example of that. So it's wonderful to be back. When I think about this event, I was thinking about what to say to just do a quick welcome on the drive over here. I thought about all the people that RSVP'd that are in the audience that have been up front in past years talking about their future projects. The Hodges, there's so many people. I'm going to start mentioning names, but a lot of the exciting things that we've talked about at these events in past years, it's been great to see them come to fruition and celebrate them now that they're complete. And it's exciting to look ahead this year and some neat projects that are coming up. So want to thank everybody that's got this put together. Tom Selick sent out the invitations, and everybody here is a friend of Tom's. I wanted to joke by saying, a lot of people ask me a lot of times, what's it like working with Tom Selick? Because, you know, he's always exciting. He's got a whole bunch of stuff going on. He's got great ideas. And can you imagine that kind of energy every single day, 8 hours a day, like we get to experience it? So people say, what's it like working with Tom Selick? And today, I think I figured out the best comparison. Do you guys remember Seinfeld when Kramer always comes in the door, he opens up the door and he slides in? It's like that every single day, about 5 times a day with Tom Selick. About 3 offices down, all of us, I see our staff nodding their heads here, but his favorite saying is, and I've got another idea. And it's always a story of something exciting going on. But so Tom's exciting to work with. He treats our office like family and does so in so many ways. One of the ways is even when we talk about dollars and cents and budgeting, you know, at the bank, we talk about what we're going to do with our funds and visit about them as a group. But this year, when it came up to talking about how are we going to handle the funds that we use to get involved in the community and do a lot of different things we do, one thing that we agreed upon unanimously as a staff is we wanted to go all in on the food pantry this year. You know, yeah, there's a round of applause. There's our food pantry. There's one thing we learned in 2020 is that there is need out there. There's true need, and there's true need in our community. And there's so many great causes. The United Way does an outstanding job of covering so many great causes. But one that just hits near and dear to our heart, and it's just a block away from us at the bank, is the food pantry. And we decided to pull some funds from here and pull some funds from there and put it into one spot. And we're real excited this year with the Food Pantry's capital campaign coming up for their new building to be a major sponsor of the food pantry and all that they're doing. And excited that Hodge Construction from right here is going to be building that for us. They do so many great projects in our area. But we're going to talk more about the food pantry later. But one of the neat things that Tom does at the bank is kind of gets us all together and gets us galvanized as a family for that. And I think we're running a little bit ahead of schedule this year, so we had extra $2,000. Last week decided that the best spot for that would be to go to the food pantry too and have them spread that out. So we're going to talk more about them later. But I wanted to introduce quickly our staff. It takes a group to get events put together. So I'm just going to introduce you as I see you back there. We got Brittany Perkle, Portfolio Manager in the back. We've got Julie Kunkel, Treasury Management. Minda Heyman, I see from our commercial team. We've got Tom and I up here. Who else do we have? I'm missing. Oh, Kelly Scher, of course, Portfolio Manager. Thanks to this group for getting all of this put together. Appreciate it, guys. So thanks for being here. All right. Without further ado, please help me welcome the stars of the show, Tom Selick and Kelly Hayworth.
The most important thing to realize, this is not rehearsed. We make this up as we go. So first, on the virus issue, I'm a little nervous about the virus. So thanks for being here. If you get nervous during the lunch, you can get up and walk around, walk in the back, seats the back. So wherever, if you want to wear a mask, you just put it on. We don't want no one to get sick with it. And the number one, don't. Kelly, you have any other comments? I got to talk one more in a minute.
Yes, we just want to thank all of you for coming here. This is one of our favorite things to do. And so many of you have made Coralville a great place over the years. We've got so many projects. We had to pick just a few this year because there's so many things going on, but we're going to slide in a few others as we go.
If you do me a favor, you know Kelly Shear back there. Kelly, raise your hand. Take the microphone up to her. We have one of this is I think about where we've been. Last March, the virus hit, and it was not good. As you may recall, everything shut down. The University Hospital was a mess. They were losing money every day. The schools closed, the university closed, and frankly, as bankers, we were worried. Our hotel customers, our owners, we thought this is going to be a mess. And here we are today, and things are better. Why is that better? Why is Johnson County growing? I honestly don't know the answer to that question. We'll talk about today. One of the theories it might be bike trails. I don't even write about it, but that is a possibility. That's the key. We'll come to that later. The other one I think is the key is I think we have talented people in the corridor, which we don't really recognize. We don't appreciate them because they're here, and they're also sort of weird. Weird, talented people. And I want to start with Kelly Shear, who works at the bank. Kelly, where are you at the back there, Kelly? Get your microphone?
Right here, Tom.
Well, here's the story. Kelly sort of is the glue to our bank. She's smart, she's talented, really, she's sort of, it's the key person in the whole operation. She and Matt have 2 children. They have Jameson, who's soon to be 3, and Maggie, who's just 5 months. And so, I don't have any young children. My grandchildren are old now. So this week, Matt and Kelly went out to the store to buy Jameson his Christmas present, the go-to big present. So I thought, this is going to be exciting. And she came back. I couldn't wait to hear. I knew it was going to be a cell phone. It had to be a cell phone. He's 3, it's time for a cell phone. So Kelly came back and she said, God, I said, what'd you get him? You won't believe it, Tom. It's great. We bought him a snow shovel. So Kelly, and then she bought him a vacuum cleaner, I think. So clarify, why is he getting a snow shovel?
He is getting a snow shovel because he's 3, and 3-year-olds love things like that. That's all I have to say. If you have a 3-year-old, you will know. He will love it.
To confirm the story, she has this 5-month-old daughter named Maggie. It's very cute. She's 2 years old. So now what's Maggie getting? Maggie is getting research.
Now this is just
right? Tell the truth now, Kelly.
I'm re-gifting all of her brother's toys from when he was 5 months old.
There you go.
It's going to be the best Christmas ever.
There's an example. She's smart, talented, and she's a little weird. So, well, more of that later. Okay, we're off the races here.
Tom, there's a lot. This is one tradition in Coralville. Yep. There's an older tradition than this. And Rex, stand up and invite everybody. Over 50 years, you've been having the year ender, and it's coming up. You're still doing it today, and people can join all the fun.
That's correct. In 1952, the Coralville Chamber of Commerce started at the Wagon Wheel Tavern, post World War II, and a lot of business getting started. People wanted to have friendship and partnerships and chat about businesses now that they're all back from the war. So in 1952, they started a lunch, once a week lunch, which still prevails to this day, and they started a year-ender party. And the year-ender party is just exactly what it says, the end of the year. We would kind of take stock on where we were, where we are, and where we're headed, and we're going to have that on New Year's Eve, and we're going to be at Tavern Blue.
All right, Tavern Blue, that's hip.
That's a fact. So come on, 4:30 to 6:30, and then we hope that all of you would come and patronize that place, and then stay locally and maybe go out for dinner that evening. So a long tradition, proud to be a member of it. Lots and lots of people here working on all these things all these years. Thank you to all of those.
Tavern Blue is locally owned, so it's an interesting place. I think they have indoor parking. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Yes, indoor parking at Tavern Blue. So if it snows out, you can no parking. It's a great operation.
Very good. Our first speaker, as Jim said, our focus today is the Coralville Food Pantry, Coralville Community Food Pantry. And we've got 2 people that will be here to speak about that. Weston Hodge, which will be in charge of the construction, and then John Boehler, the executive director as well. The food pantry, if you don't know a lot about that, I would encourage you to find out a little bit more, because this is a place that people that are challenged for food, they can come there. But I don't know if all of you knew that 2 weeks ago, or was it last Friday? Last Friday night, They served a community meal for 371 people, came all across the community to join together for a meal. And they do that quarterly. And the new facility is going to allow them to do even more than what they've been able to do in the past with bringing community together. So this is one of the really special places that we have in Coralville, and we're very lucky to have them. Yesterday, I was volunteering at the Coralville Food Pantry. Mike Hodge broke the rules a little bit. He brought his grandson, 9-year-old Isaac, to help out. And Isaac was all over the food pantry, doing all kinds of work. He was learning about what it is to give back to the community, and so we were really lucky to have Isaac there yesterday. So, John and Weston.
John's kicking things off here.
Hi, everybody. I just want to do a quick shout out to Kelly Hayward. For the past probably 6 or 7 months, he's been a fixture at the food pantry on Thursdays, so I appreciate your volunteerism. It means a lot. So, everyone, I'm John Boehler, the Executive Director of the Coralville Community Food Pantry, where we believe that food is a human right and food has the power to bring people together. We've got some images here, I hope you can see them, but for the past 12 years, the food pantry has been hopping around from temporary location to temporary location. We started in a closet at a local school. We advanced to a pretty dingy community room just down the street from the metal scrapyard, and eventually made our way to the Coralville Post Office, where we've been operating for the past 6 years, thanks to the city of Coralville providing us that space. It's been a really wonderful location for us, but has its challenges. We have spatial constraints. Our biggest challenge is we don't have enough room to store all the amazing food that is offered to us. That's issue number one. We have a growing staff and volunteer base, and we're just really limited in space that we can provide for those folks. And then just physically, the shopping area where members would come through and select the food that they need and deserve is just not adequate enough. So we knew from the start that that building wasn't going to be our forever home. But again, it's worked really well. It's helped us continue to grow as an organization and meet the growing need. And I will say in the past 12 years, regardless of those challenges and constraints, we've been able to remain a vital and essential safety net for our neighbors. And during that time, we provided over 5 million pounds of food to our community, which is amazing. And that's not me alone, it's the whole community, our volunteers, supporters as well. But the exciting news that I'm here to share today is that we have found a permanent, forever home for the food pantry. And I have to say, our partners at Coralville United Methodist Church, longtime partners, really, truly stepped up. I'm so amazed at their generosity. They offered us access to a parcel of land on their property at the corner of 8th Street and 13th Avenue. So they're giving us this land on which we will build the future food pantry, which will be twice the size, more than twice the size of our existing space. You can see some renderings here. So again, our pals at Hodge Construction will be building this. Newman Munson architects have designed a really beautiful building. On top of the new facility that we'll be building, we'll have access to the church's commercial kitchen space, which is huge. That's something we've been wanting for a long time. And so we'll be upgrading that a bit, and we'll have access to their community room as well. And this space, on top of our new facility, will give us the opportunity to pursue some really exciting and innovative programs that are direly needed in the Coralville community, such as a hot meal program on a regular basis, more community meals, as Kelly mentioned, cooking classes, and even an incubator program for small food business entrepreneurs. So a lot of exciting things that can happen out of this future space. So we are, of course, in the middle of a capital campaign. Had a meeting with Weston this morning, found out our budget's a little bit higher than we all anticipated, and we all kind of expected that. But our motto throughout this campaign has been, help us build more than a pantry. And for us, that's not just a snazzy catchphrase, it's truly a reflection of who we are as an organization, as a group of people, and hopefully it reflects as well what we've been trying to build over the years. We at the food pantry do more than just provide food to people. We do more than just put food on the table for families in our community. We build community, we build resiliency, we build strength, safety, and health. And examples of what we'll be able to do beyond just giving food to people in this future space is some of those things I mentioned above. But the new space, and I use the word space, that's like the most exciting thing. We're gonna have a lot more space at the new facility. So we'll have more storage space for the food that we need. So many times I've had to turn down food donations. We'll be able to take them all and get it out to families who need it. We'll have more office space for our growing staff and volunteer base, as I mentioned. The pantry just waiting room will be larger and more comfortable to accommodate more people as they're waiting, and also just have other pop-up programs and resources available to people. And then just outside we'll have more parking. It's a great centralized location just down the street from Northwest Junior High and the rec center, right on a bus stop. And then outside too, the thing I'm really excited about, we'll have a gathering area which will have picnic tables, a grill, and my dream is to have a pizza oven so that we can have community pizza nights and grill outs. Again, bringing people together is really important to us. So, I don't know if I can switch to slides, Kelly? Oh yeah, perfect. We'll work on that. Just want to give you an update on the fundraising. So we have some really incredible people who have stepped up in the past several months. We have a list of those who've been at the foundational level. So these are gifts ranging from $25,000 all the way to $200,000 pledges that will really see us through. So as of today, we're really close to $900,000 raised towards our now closer to $1.5 million goal. But the last 19 months especially, it's been this community that's had our backs during a really challenging time. And so once again, we're turning to you for support to help us get to the finish line. We're close. I feel really confident that we can get there soon. And I'm just really excited to potentially 1 year from now be in a new space that we can all gather and continue this great work. So thank you for your support today. Thank you, Tom, for the invitation. And I'm going to hand it off to Weston to talk more about the actual building project.
John's a really hard person to follow. No note cards, no bullet points, nothing. And here I am. But anyway, like John said, I'm Weston Hodge. I'm with Hodge Construction, and I've been working with John and Keith Jones, Newman Munson for the last few months, and really I can't say it's about every project, but it's been a pleasure working with them. It's gone smoothly, and I really think that's a result of working with people that are dedicated and committed to a project, and I appreciate that. To give you some background on Hodge Construction's involvement in the food pantry, we've been longtime supporters of the food pantry on more of a personal level, and now building the new space, John would say, it gives us an opportunity to be involved and support them on more of a professional level. And here at Hodge, our motto has always been, building community, kind of like John said, that's really what this is all about. And also about getting the community involved. So most of you are probably familiar with the Shelter House project in Iowa City. Well, in order to get the community involved, we set up different sessions of volunteers to build interior walls. And that was a huge success. And being that we've been through that process, I plan to do kind of the same thing on the food pantry. I'll have more details as we get closer to the groundbreaking, but I think it'll be a good opportunity for the community to get involved and try to live up to the motto of building community. We plan to do something similar to the food pantry. As far as the timeline of the project, John had asked me, let's hit on the timeline, give everyone an idea. We met this morning on project numbers. Yes, we're somewhat over, but we'll work through those details. Hopefully we get things wrapped up in the next couple weeks, and I guess that sets us up to begin probably the worst time of the year to dig a hole, which is unfortunate, but we plan to get started as soon as we can, as soon as the weather allows, and no later than March 1st, putting our completion dates fall of 22. So, John hit on most items here. Appreciate your time, and we're excited to get started.
Thank you to Weston and Hodge Construction. He mentioned that Sheldon House project, and Tom and I built some walls. And my wife Nancy and Julie Hodge also built walls. And Mike pointed out when they went to put the walls together, we had signed them. Nancy and Julie's were a lot better than Tom. They were actually square. So
I did want to clarify too, my role. I'm not really handy, so they asked me to come out and help out. I said, no problem, I'll bring my hammer. So I bring my hammer. Look, you don't use the hammers, you know, you these nail guns. Oh my God, I'm gonna get shot. So no one got hurt. I won't bring my hammer next time. But it was a great experience. But I was a little, I missed it a few times by hand. My nail gun, I'll do better next time.
Both John and Weston did mention the Coralville Methodist Church. This project wouldn't have happened without their leadership and willingness to step forward with one of the best spots in Coralville for that location. I just want to point out that Pastor Leah Brown is here, and we'd just like to thank her and the church for all that they're doing for the food pantry. Our next speaker is Brian McKenna from the hockey team, but before we get there, I wanted to give you a little bit of news today. So this week, we have a changeover in our leadership at the Extreme Arena in Green State Fieldhouse. And we feel a little bit sad, but it's going to end up being great for us because Jack Ligon, our manager for the last year, has got the opportunity to move up to Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines as the assistant general manager of that facility. And if you don't know, Wells Fargo Arena, they manage about 150 throughout the state, or throughout the country, Spectra does. Wells Fargo is their most profitable facility in their chain. So so Jack will be moving in after the first of the year. But we also have started this week our new general manager, and that's Jason Anderson. And Jason is moving here from Cedar Rapids, and he has been in our market for a long, long time. I think back to 2004. He has worked in the ice arena for several years up in Cedar Rapids. He worked at the arena, and most recently, for the last 6 years, has been running Paramount Theater. So if you ever used one of those facilities, Jason was involved in those. And so we feel really good and welcome Jason to our market. And thanks, Jack. And we aren't losing Jack because Wells Fargo is the managers or the regional support for our arena here. So we will still be welcoming him back. Our next speaker is Brian McKenna. Brian is the president of the Heartlanders. We are so excited to have this pro hockey team here in Coralville. For those of you that don't know, Brian was the longest serving commissioner of the ECHL. When we were digging a hole at the current arena, Josh and I were there, and Brian, as the commissioner, came and visited our site. And Brian said, "This is a great opportunity. I'll help you out, and we're going to work on getting a hockey team here from the ECHL." Lo and behold, it happened, and he retired and came back, and now he's the president of the Iowa Heartlanders. So, Brian.
Thank you very much. And the reason I'm back is because of folks like Kelly, like the mayor, and like Josh, who welcomed us here 3.5 years ago. And I got to tell you this as well. We've got players from all over North America and from as far away as Japan. And the reports we're getting from the players, they love the community, they love the people, and they love the facility. So from that perspective, it's certainly been a success. First of all, how many people have been to a Heartlanders game? Just show of hands. Okay, probably half of the room. Those that haven't, we're the new hockey team in town. And off on the ice, we're off to a little bit of a rocky start, under 500 right now, but we've won 3 of 4, including 2 last weekend where we came from behind. Very young team, 15, 16 rookies, first-year pros in the lineup every night, so we expected it would be a little uneven. That's been the case, but I think it'll get better from here on out. Off the ice, again, we're a small business, just like many in this room, in this community. We employ, between our team and the facility, probably about 35, 40 full-time people. With our players during the season, that's up to about 60, and on our game nights, we're probably approaching 200 people. So we're a vital part of the community, hopefully part of the economic engine here as well, giving back, supporting local businesses, and using a lot of facilities and services that the folks in this room certainly supply. Partners with Hodge and the McKinsey Group. We're excited as well to know that in the new year that the new Iowa Athletic Club will be opening the restaurant in the arena as well. And it's great to see the continued development here in Iowa River Landing, and we're proud and happy to be part of it. We have 23 games remaining, and so still lots of opportunity to come out and support the team. We hope that you, your employees, or members of organizations or churches that you're involved with here in the community will also take the opportunity to come out, buy a group, experience the arena, and come see a hockey game. Along those lines, today we've got a couple of family 4-packs to give out. We're going to do a drawing here, I think. Pick a name. And Mike Pence, our VP of Ticket Sales, has the packages, so please see him if your name is chosen. Robert or Richard Bourne. Hey! And Bob Oborski. Thank you very much.
Wait. Now I want to have a complaint with Brian. Last Friday night I went to the hockey match, okay, the game, and it was great. Prices are reasonable. It was exciting. They were playing the best team in the league. Toledo, I think, was #1. They got behind. They got ahead, got behind, and they rallied and they won. But during the
Hey, now wait a minute. You didn't make it. They were behind when you left because you didn't go to bed so long.
I didn't see the finish, actually. Anyway.
You're cold we came from.
But after the second period, they have a thing called chuck-a-puck. What we do is, for $1, you can buy a little puck. So I have we have Nancy, come on up, Michelle, Ryan, and Andy, come on up right now. So I decided I was going to do this. So I bought 4 chuck-a-pucks. So we have some other people. So what you do is you take that little puck and you throw it over the glass onto the ice. And the closest one to the center wins this big prize. So I said, I'm a natural. I was a high school quarterback. I was an accurate passer. I threw mostly just screen passes to my buddy Danny, who ran all the way for touchdown. But anyway, so I went down there to throw it. We all threw it, and I didn't get over the glass. Some little girl did not turn it over. So I make a request. The next time I go, I want to have a lower glass. We got to have the super senior area. I get over the glass. So anyway, so now what we're going to do here, for the last month, we've been having this chuck-a-puck contest around the community. And these are the finalists. So right here, Andy Hodge, Nancy Hayworth, Michelle Meyer, and Ryan West. So right here, this is live. Now, this is live. This is the first ever chuck-a-puck national state of Iowa contest. State championship right here. So we're gonna put this right. This is this lovely West Bank bag. The winner gets this lovely bag. A little old, but still lovely. Like right here. So you all throw it there. We'll decide who's the closest to the West Bank logo. So who wants to go first? Nancy. Nancy. Right. Good. No cigar. Okay, who's next? Michelle Meyer. Very good. You're losing. Andy Hodge. Okay, that's it. Here is the state of Iowa it costs $1, it goes to charity. So it's a great little thing. So I'll get back to Chuck. So, here we go. Only if these ones you have a financial statewide contest. Are you up? I'm up. Oh, I'm up too. I forgot one thing. Phil, do me a favor. Take this out to John Lindell. As you know, John Lindell is the mayor of Coralville, and he's stepping down here on December 31st. He's got 2 weeks left to go. So I asked my boss, could we buy John like a special present? You know, sort of a souvenir of his long years of recognition service. So I wrapped, John, stand up so you can see this thing. So the budget was a little tight on the wrapping paper and the present. They gave me a $2 budget. So John, you know what that is?
Well, it's a bobblehead.
It's a duck.
A duck.
John is truly, he's a lame duck. So that bobblehead, you put it in the window, it will dance. It's a dancing lame duck. That's John Lindell present for his many years of service. Our next speaker is Ben Kinson with Kinson Hotels. They great operation. They moved to Coralville this year. I've worked with them. They are sort of an amazing company. What I like about them is they work hard, they're smart, and they're honest. And they just I call them grinders. They just every day they're cranking it out. So Ben's going to talk about what they're doing. He's the director of development and finance. His wife is Heather. He's got a son named Langdon and a daughter named Natalie. I know he tries to play a little golf. He tries to be a great golfer. Works out some, but is real. He's a fantasy football legend. He claims he's a 3-peat champion in his league for fantasy football. Is that true or not?
That is true.
Does that work?
I think so.
I don't think it is.
Oh, so you Kelly.
Tom, your mic's not on.
It is true. Yeah, I won my one league 3 times and one other one time. And I used to get last, and I kind of kept getting better every year and won a bunch of fantasy football. But I wanted to go off script a little bit. I saw the presentation on the food pantry. And I'd like to request a meeting with Weston and Tom and the team and get involved with that. I've been looking for our next involvement at Kinsleth Hospitality to support the community. And I'd like to be the first to be involved. So one of the next to get involved. So we'll talk about that real quick. But yeah, we've come a long ways in our company at Kinsleth Hospitality. I think everybody that's a historian of Coralville can think back to 1990. The Westfield Inn out before the mall came. That was one of our first hotels in our portfolio, Kinsleth Hospitality, a hotel manager developer. We used to do big buffets out there. We put through 500 people at a time on holiday. We had local legends like Rush Jardine come through. And that was and we had our corporate office in that hotel out of 4 hotel rooms. I actually lived in that hotel. When I was born, we lived in that hotel. And then we converted the rooms to our corporate office. So think back to that area, before the Texas Roadhouse and all that came in, how far Coralville and the community has come, and also Kinsleth has come. We're so appreciative as we think back, and I'm sure as you are in your time in Coralville, you hear how far the community has come. It really is great, fun to think back to what that note of the area was like back then. Of course, that hotel got torn down and the new commercial came in. That whole area has come a long way with the mall. We've really come full circle at Kinsleth Hospitality, coming back into the Iowa River Landing, right where we wanted to be in development, just like that, to move our corporate office into the Iowa River Landing. We moved in last June into the building with the Staybridge Suites. That building that we developed with Hodge Construction and many other local owners in the hotel is just really cool. It's attached to the arena. If you haven't been in there, I'd suggest you get in there, and I'll give you a tour myself of our office, the hotel. The whole facility is really probably one of the more dynamic mixed-use buildings in the area, I think, that's been, or probably in the whole region in a while. We got our corporate office in there on the 2nd floor, 17,000 square feet. We have 99 hotel rooms, all with full kitchens. And then we have luxury condos on the top floor. And then to round it out, we have a full retail wing in the bottom floor. It's just a great building. We couldn't be more proud to end up there. We were looking for a spot for our corporate office. I think I announced it like 3 years ago in one of these get-togethers that we were doing that deal. And it really came together great. We're really thankful for our partnership with the Hodge team and West Bank and the city of Coralville. It's really worked out great. If you get a chance, come on in. We'll show you our office. OPN designed it. It's just turned out phenomenal. We tour people we're doing a lot of different hotel projects around the Midwest. We're building 5 to 6 hotels. We have clients come in all the time. We're just proud to show them around the area, show them the arena. It's just a great showpiece for our company to keep growing like we are. A little update on us. We started with that hotel, the Westfield Inn, was one of our first hotels back in the 1990s. We're up to 100 hotels under management now and building about 5 or 6 a year. And so the platform we have in the Iowa River Landing is really going to set us well for the future. Really fun, like I said, to think about where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. I really want to thank Tom Selick as well for his support through the pandemic. I'm sure, like all of you, had a tough time through the pandemic. We as hoteliers have, and it's partners and friends like Tom Selick to help get us through. Let's give Tom a round of applause. Best banker of the year, I think. And yeah, that's what I wanted to come up and talk about was Kinseth Hospitality. We've come a long way, along with the city of Coralville and the Iowa River Landing, and couldn't be more proud to be part of the community and I appreciate everybody's support. Thank you.
Well, we fixed this with it. We got 2 now. Okay, I forgot a couple things here. I got business here. So, back on the theme of talented and weird, I do want to mention Taylor Sherrill one more time. Because she's a hard worker. I've been there on Friday afternoons at 4:59. Time to go home. It's Friday at 4:59. Kelly's got these 2 screens, files out, she's still working. I said, Kelly, nobody works at 4:59 Friday afternoon except for Kelly Sherrill. So she's very productive. So I want to recognize her for all that work too. The other thing about why does the corridor grow? One theory, which I just decided is it might be bike trails. I don't ride a bike, but all these crazy people who are younger are riding bikes all the time. So we'll talk about that in a minute. The other one is the airport. Marty Lentz, can you stand? Just wave at the crowd. Marty, you can't speak. Marty runs the airport. And I'm telling you, I think the most important thing in this area might be the airport. It might be Marty Lentz. He is a very talented guy. It's unusual. He's the key. So I do want to, those people are out there doing things which just are amazing. So I want to recognize him too. So next we're bringing up was Jim's here. So back on the weird theme, Jim, I like Jim a lot. He's the guy who runs the show, sets the tone, and I sort of admire Jim a little bit. But then I asked Jim what he does for fun. Well, what he does for fun, he really can't wait till winter, till the snow hits. So he gets up at 4:30 in the morning, gets on his bike, he gets on the bike trail, and they like to ride through the snow with other weird people. And our next speaker is going to be Joe Hughes. He is as weird as Jim. So here we go. The next two are our 2 weird guys, Jim and Joe.
Thanks, Tom. That is definitely the weirdest introduction I've ever had. And Joe, thanks for coming on up. We'll talk about biking later. Southgate Company celebrated their 50th year in business in the Iowa City area in 2014. So we'll be talking about celebrating 60 years in business here soon. Southgate's been known for a long time for building commercial buildings and owning commercial property, but in recent years, Southgate's been expanding very quickly. They're building in individual homes and have formed a company called Navigate Homes. And Navigate is run by Joe Hughes. I think all of us run into Joe and know him as a community leader, whether he's calling you to ring a bell for Salvation Army or you're running into him at chamber events, he's busy with Rotary, and etc. Joe is married to Vanessa, and they have 3 kids, Hugo, Arlo, and Kona. So Joe, we're excited to hear about your subdivision and what you're in charge of.
Thank you, Jim. I almost yelled, Jim, stop, you're gonna give away my presentation, but that's all right, we're gonna roll with it. Jim and I oftentimes get up at 5 in the morning and go for bike rides through some of the Coralville single track trails. So Jim and I will see each other at that time of the morning. So yes, Joe Hughes, Managing Director with Navigate Homes, and Tom asked me to talk about Kona Circle, which is a new street we are building in the Clear Creek subdivision, developed by Southgate and homes built by Navigate Homes. So if you're paying attention to Jim, you probably know the answer to this, but where did we get the name for Kona Circle? You would think maybe
we got it from the Kailua Kona area of Hawaii, which I've been to and I love, where they have the Hawaiian Ironman World Championships. But no, you'd think maybe we got it from Kona Bikes, which is a pretty cool bike brand. I do bike with a lot of people in here, as we've kind of been talking about. But no, maybe Kona Coffee. We have some coffee drinkers in here. I figured so. But yes, I wanted to tie this in with the Extreme Arena. So this is Kona, who is a Coralville native, lives here in Coralville, and when the national championships for girls wrestling was held in Coralville at Extreme Arena, she won the 8 and under division, got outstanding wrestler, and so yes, she is my daughter, and I'm very proud of her. So it's fun to have a street named after her. And just to talk about briefly the level of competition that Luke Eustace and Josh Hamburger and everybody are bringing into this arena. We had been watching this tournament go from Oklahoma to Colorado Springs, and we were all prepared to go to Colorado Springs or wherever we were going to go. So it was super cool to show up, see all these people from across the United States and be like, we're from Coralville. So this picture was taken this morning out at Kona Circle. It's hard to get the whole feel of it, but it's 23 lots surrounded by lots of trees. Beautiful area off of Camp Cardinal Boulevard between the Coralville Strip and Melrose. And we have, as you can see, this is the plat. Most of the lots are about half-acre lots. And we are not selling any of the lots off individually. All of the lots are being built. Navigate Homes is building lots on, or building houses on the lots for sale. So we've got one house started and a lot more in the works. What are we building out there? These are some pictures of some of the homes we built just across the city line on Ava Circle in Iowa City. Most of these homes on Kona Circle are going to go for the $700,000 to just over $1 million. The ones we're building right now are spec homes, but we expect quite a few people will come in and want us to customize homes for them. Here's a few more pictures of some of the homes that we have built so far. And that concludes what I'm talking about with Navigate Homes. Tom said I could give a brief shout out, but he couldn't say anything, to my Southgate coworker, Chris Vilhauer, who is leading, launching a new division at Southgate. They're doing third-party commercial management, property management. Chris has been doing property management for 17 years for Southgate. We're finally in a position where we're ready to go out and do that for other people. So Chris and our accountant Brenda and our maintenance technician Trevor are ready to help you out if you don't want to manage your commercial or mixed use property on your own. Thanks for your time.
All right, now Joe, you can stay up here because we have to defend this weird thing. Tom's accusing us of being weird. Now I like to say, Tom, it's not weird if everyone's doing it. Now you think about silver linings of this pandemic. The pandemic is obviously very, very difficult, so you really look for silver linings. Well, one of the silver linings of the pandemic in our area is that the public realization that the Iowa City area is a gem for all kinds of cycling has exploded. And people are cycling all over. If you like to bike on cement, we've got things like Ragbri coming into our area, Grand Gable. If you like to bike on gravel, there are a number of gravel riding groups, and we've got some of the best gravel road biking between here and Kelowna that you can imagine. All right, you heard it, Joe. Tom's in our next bike ride. And my favorite, if you like riding a bike through trees on what we call single track and on dirt trails, fortunately for us, our Coralville park superintendent is personally a passionate cyclist and is a visionary for that kind of biking in our area. So biking has exploded in our area to the point where as a group, our ICAD, Iowa City Area Development, has realized that with this labor shortage, there's people that, obviously all of our companies are looking for employees, and people all over have choices. They can, do you want to live in Chicago? Would you like to live in Los Angeles? Would you like to live in Iowa City? One of the neatest amenities of our area that's bringing people in as an attraction is cycling in our area. So ICAD has started a new entity called Bike Iowa City, led by our communications director, Liz Huming. Liz, do you want to come up, just give us a quick 60 seconds on what is Bike Iowa City?
Thank you. First off, I have to give credit where it's due, but Bike Iowa City was definitely a visionary piece by Josh and Think Iowa City, but he trusted in this weirdo who thinks 100 miles on gravel is a really enjoyable thing on the weekend, so thank you to Josh and his team for allowing me to get my hands around this. I think a theme for today is community, and I strongly believe that bikes create community. So I was thrilled to take this on, and if you haven't heard of Bike Iowa City, it's an initiative to make Johnson County recognized as the premier cycling community in the Midwest. So bikeiowacity.com is a really great resource full of curated list of cycling routes that you can explore, list of events that are going on in our community, and really highlights our different bike shops and different shops in our community. One thing that I want to highlight is some of the really exciting things that are happening in this coming year. One thing when we hear from our hotels that I'm passionate about is really highlighting our local businesses and our hotels and what makes them special. So we're creating a bike-friendly business program to highlight our restaurants, our bars, our hotels, and show that they're bike-friendly and that they're a place that people can go and have a really great experience when they come to our community. So excited about that. Another program that we're launching is a Bike Ambassadors program, which I'm really thrilled that Jim is going to be a member of, to really spread the word about cycling in our community and show what's so unique about it. Another thing that I want to highlight is the work that Alex Biemeyer from the city of Coralville is doing. He's doing a really great job developing our single track biking trails, and us weirdos, you can find us there, either it's 5 a.m. in the morning or Wednesday afternoons with a West Bay koozie in hand. It's a really great time. So thank you, Alex, for being a visionary with that. Additionally, there's a really great event that I don't know, Alex, do you want to say a few words about it? Coming to our area.
Well, we're going to call him up in a second.
Okay. Well, I don't want to spoil this, but we have a really great event coming to our community that I think everyone should get involved with. So I'll stop it at that. But ride more bikes. It's a great time. If you have any questions, reach out to me, and I'm happy to talk about bikes.
Thank you, Liz. All right, so Liz, you don't think all this early morning biking or cycling is weird, do you? You think it's pretty normal, right? Hear that, Tom? And Joe, you think all this is pretty normal. You don't think it's weird either, do you?
Well, we're kind of weird.
Maybe I'm weird.
Could be. That's gonna be that's my point. We're getting to that point. So my favorite kind of cycling, and I think the favorite kind of cycling for a lot of people, is through trees on dirt tracks. And we have in Coralville the nicest, I think, tracks of this kind in Iowa. And that's we're very benefited and lucky to have a park superintendent here in Coralville that's personally a passionate cyclist and has some big plans for expanding our trails. And obviously I want to call Alex to come up. So these trails are in the middle of Coralville. You can get to them from wherever you live and work in Coralville within about 5 minutes. So I think they used to be the best kept secret in town, but Alex, where are these trails and what are your visions for making them even better in 2022?
Sure, thank you. Thanks for having me. Thank you, West Bank, for hosting this. City Coralville. This is awesome. I'm relatively new to the community. I've been here for about 5 years. And it's been great to work for the City of Coralville. Kelly and administration's created a really amazing culture here. So thanks to that, for sure. So Jim mentioned single track trails, one of my passions. We've been able to expand our network to almost 10 miles now in the last 5 years, in part from community built projects. It started with actually I-Corps, and from that it's just taken off. We've had grants from the Community Foundation of Johnson County, the Wellmark Foundation recently. So yeah, it's really picking up, and then a potential partnership coming up with West Bank too, so thanks for the consideration there. You asked where they're at. You can get to them from the Tom Harkin Trailhead, right off Camp Carter Boulevard. So super exciting there. And then also out at Creekside Park, where our flow trail is. And we're currently planning on making a connection between the two networks, Woodpecker and Creekside. So very excited about that. We've got some awesome partners with that project, about 1.5 miles, a connector trail. So thanks for
So
that.
it's totally normal to ride these dirt trails
It is.
in the winter. Have you ever ridden it in the dark at 5 in the morning?
I don't do the morning stuff like you guys do, but
You're supposed to say yes.
I'm usually an after work rider, and actually Jim and I went just the other day on a ride, which was super fun to check out an upcoming project. Liz mentioned an event that we're getting ready to launch January 1st. It's called Core 4. It's going to be one of Iowa City's premier cycling events. We've partnered with a group out of Bentonville, Arkansas, and it's going to be hosted out of Wilson's, and routes will navigate through all of the county and municipalities. We've got some awesome partnerships with that program also, and we'll launch it through Bike Iowa City January 1st, our website. So watch for that. Super exciting. So thank you all.
Great. Thanks, Evan. Tom, everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. You got to do that. All right.
Joe, where's Joe? Joe, stand up here. Now, Jim, Jim's a racer on his bike. He often brags how good he is. You know, he's the West, these records and stuff. Now, can you clarify, are you better than Joe? Can you just give me the facts, the honest truth?
He's not.
No.
But Joe's good, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes. We go to these races. So there are about 25 people that are in our group where we get together, men, women, young, old. I think Joe maybe is responsible for all of us getting into the hobby in the last year or so. But I think in college, I played the trombone. But in college, Joe was a cross-country runner. So who do you think's in better shape and a faster runner? No, Joe's the fastest.
For those of you that are wondering about my sweater, that came from my good friend, Josh Schomburger. And it was a very special gift from him. But he's come up with another new item, and we're going to give a couple of those away. And that's these Coralville shirts that are available at the CVB. And so, Josh, here, draw a couple names. Yep.
You don't need to give one to her. She made him. You don't need to give one to him. Brian, that's too small for you. He definitely deserves one. The very great, long-time city engineer, Dan Holderness. And
Greg Opple. Where's Greg? One more, just recently, about in the last 10 minutes, some news was announced. And so I'm going to have Josh share the latest news with you that we just found out.
so Coralville is going to be the new host for the next 10 years of the Girls State Volleyball Tournament. Big news, Scott. You know more than anybody that I am a Cedar Rapids guy. And my family lives in Cedar Rapids, and I love Cedar Rapids, but this is business. And so, at the end of the day, it is what it is. And congratulations to Luke and Kylie and everybody at the Sports Commission. It's a very big win to have all the girls' state volleyball here in November for a week for the next 10 years or so, 5 and 5. So all good news.
So there's a lot of people to thank for that, but this was one of the things that Josh worked on for years and was one of the original visions for the Extreme Arena. And so we're really excited to be able to be hosting that, and all of you will be playing a role in that. Our last speaker today is Nate Cady and his group, and he's going to be doing an introduction of their new concept that'll be opening up. We feel really lucky to have Nate back here. So all of you know Nate. and Brian. I think you were doing the introduction. But for those of you that know, Nate Kading was a longtime football player for the University of Iowa and for the NFL, and we feel very, very lucky that he chose to come back to our area and to invest. So, Nate.
Thank you, Kelly. Like Mr. Ben Kinseth, I'm a Coralville native. Ben and I used to run the mean streets of Coralville back in the day. My first job was lining the fields and picking up beer cans and pop cans down at the old Edgewood softball complex when I was 14, which is currently the Marriott parking lot, or the Hyatt Regency parking lot. Kelly hired me, or it was probably my mom. My mom was a finance director for the city for 30 years, so she probably hired me the job. But my second job was at Sluggers, working for Faye Swift, the iconic sports bar restaurant down there on the Coralville Strip with the big baseball player in it. So our new project, our restaurant group, Craft Concepts, our newest project is the Iowa Athletic Club, and we're channeling all the energy and the feel and the vibes that Sluggers brought us back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. So we're super excited about the project. Brian's going to share. Tom wanted us to unveil something about the project, so Brian's going to do all the big unveils here today. But just kind of high level. Jack Nicklaus, the old golfer, his famous quote was, "The game is meant to be fun." So when you come in here, we're just going to kind of celebrate all that's good and great about sports, about hanging out with your friends, about being together. And we're super excited to be down on the river landing. Of course, being kind of co-located next to the arena with the hockey team and the Heartlanders is amazing, all the energy that brings. But of course, the Green State field house with all the in and outs that go on there with youth sports and families visiting and everything, that's going to be huge for us and the restaurant as well. So just really trying to embrace the sports culture and just the whole idea of having fun at the space. This is our menu cover and back of the menu here. Probably hard to see, but we try to, a nod and an homage to a lot of the famous iconic Coralville businesses. The old D&B Dairy Putt-Putt golf spot there, the Blue Top Motel, Coeur Lane, Sluggers, Nickelodeon, House of Lords. Rex, did I miss anything? Did we get it all? Maybe a few, but yeah, so we're super excited. Of course, you can't hide that Coralville pride, so it'll be a great kind of Coralville location. And Brian's going to dive into a few of the kind of main draws of the space and some of the food.
As Nate was saying, there's a lot of inspiration from bringing Coralville back and kind of bringing the old retro version of Coralville. So we've been working really hard to try and recreate that. At the same time, get that vibe where it's a fun place to go watch a game. The food is going to be very approachable. We're going to do some skee ball, some games, things like that. So the whole idea is that the vibe of this is going to be a sports themed place, but it's going to have that family. We want people from the arena, obviously, coming over and their family can have dinner or guys' night out or ladies' night out. However you want to look at that, it should be a good time. Our food is going to be elevated sports bar. Pretty simple, but approachable. Ben Smart from Big Grove, along with Shane Durian from 30 Hop and Tribute, kind of put together this menu. So we have a pretty good culinary team behind us. One of the focuses we're going to have is our tavern-style pizza, as well as smash burgers. What else? So, Nate's kind of flying through these. This was Nate's big thing. He wanted to have the coldest beer in town.
Simplest, cheapest marketing ploy you could ever invent.
The problem is I think we have that tagline in about 3 or 4 of our other places as well. So we're going to go for coldest beer in town. I guess you just have to go and check all of them out and see which one's the coldest. As far as our cocktails, very crafted cocktail menu, as well as putting classic beers on tap. Frozen drinks was a big focus we had. We will have a patio outside that will wrap around the entire front with garage doors that will open up with outdoor seating as well. So I think that'll really play well in the summer.
Yeah, and merch and swag, that's the fun stuff too. You can't do a restaurant without some fun swag. So the hat, you kind of see some of the old retro vibes, some cool t-shirts. It's just a lot of fun putting these projects together. So that's it.
Nate also
spent a lot of time finding a lot of the artwork that we're going to put on the wall. We did have to limit the number of Kading jerseys that we had.
You can get them online on eBay for under $5 now, so it's an easy find. But another thing that we're also super excited about with the project is we're going to be working with Have Life, the local nonprofit agency that helps disadvantaged youth, and we're going to be doing an annual scholarship fund. We'll be donating money from a restaurant as well as raising some money with partners to give to local youth to participate in all of our great local youth sports clubs. So we're going to launch that project along with them and then host an event in the restaurant each year where we honor all the various volunteers and all the different youth sports clubs across the community for all the hard work that they've put in, and then also award those scholarships. So we're going to announce that partnership with Have Life here when we open. And we're close to opening. Santa and all his little helpers and elves will be working through the holiday here, and with a little bit of Christmas magic, we'll be open here at the first part of the year. And we're super excited to get going.
Yeah, and that elf actually is Eric Shoemaker sitting back there. Really cool T-shirt. He's the guy that has to field all the phone calls and tell us why our compressor's in a cargo ship in the Suez Canal right now. So we beat up on him pretty well. So he's doing a great job.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Okay, we're about done. I got to get out my award here. But before I do that, I want to thank the people here, Kelly Carter, Kevin Perez, and the team for putting this together for us. We appreciate that. So I know the high point of the day is I'm going to announce my best friend. As you may recall, are these events that changes like every hour or day, you know, my best friend. But this is going to be, I'm getting an award here for my best friend of the year. The entire year, I have one person as my best friend. I even have here a trophy. So,
how many times have I been your best friend?
Well, 10 or 20.
It's only lasted a day.
But this is a real trophy. And so, here's the trophy. It looks pretty. I actually paid for this myself. Here it says, my best friend of 2021 was John Lindell, Tom Selick's best friend. John, come on up. So John has 2 awards. He's a lame duck, but he's also the recipient of the Best Friend Award of 2021. And John, you might want to say, what have you done for the last 20 years?
Well, thank you, Tom. This is one of many, many honors to be your best friend for 2021. So, we have about 14 days left of it, I think. But no, thank you all, everyone in this room. I've worked with one way or another since my last 18 years on the council and also as mayor. And you know, Kelly's my best friend, and well, many of you in this room are my best friend. Diana, my wife's out there someplace, so right there. Great mentor. You know, Diana was on the council here for 15 years before I was. Previous mayor Jim Fawcett was an incredible person to succeed, left me some really big shoes. And now I'm happy to pass the torch on to Megan Foster, and she'll be a great job too. So I've had a great team of all the council, current and present and past councils. That's one of the things I think is key to our success, is we're a great team. We work together. We share a vision. We work through, we don't always agree, but we never disagree forever. We always work things out and you know, keep to that Coralville vision, that Coralville pride. And the city staff, you know, is just outstanding. So thank you, everyone.
Ryan, come on up now. This is our way. At the end of the luncheon, we have a tradition of singing Jingle Bells. It's led by, now it's Ryan West. His father Steve here used to run the business, but Robin Valenta and Ryan West music, so they're going to ring the bells. I have my bells here. There's a chance that Santa might show up, right?
But you have to ring the bell. You're going to have to do it. So, okay, so I am going to lead us in Jingle Bells. So I brought as many bells as I could. Many of you have them at your tables. I have to make this disclaimer every year. I stole this from the early childhood music program. So at the end of the lunch, you have to return them at the end, otherwise the little kids don't get any bells. You ruined Christmas. So there you go. Anyway, we're going to do Jingle Bells. As my 5-year-old daughter, Eva, reminded me, the beginning of Jingle Bells is not Jingle Bells, it's Dashing Through the Snow, right? So everyone needs to remember that. So, you guys, everybody ready? Okay, ready? Da 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 da. Yeah, we can do that? Okay, you're all singing too, okay? Remember, okay? A 1 and a 2 and a you know what to do. Dashing through the snow in a 1-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha ha ha! Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a 1-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a 1-horse open sleigh. Woo! Thank you, Tom, as always, for bringing us all together.
You know, one more thing, Santa's arrived, but I also missed West Music Company. Another example of why we're successful is West Music. Started out by Steve's father. He brought it down the road a long way, and now they sell stuff around the world now. They're recognized as the best music store in America. They're probably the best store in the world, frankly, music. So these guys are true leaders. So congratulations.
Well, I was going to apologize for being late, but I was coming in from the west. I thought I was in St. Louis with all those highways going this way and that way. But then I figured out I must be in the right place, so.
Yeah, by the way, we have the koozies out there, or they're out on the way out. You want a koozies? You can grab one. So, anything else we forgot, guys? Okay, well, thanks, and happy holidays.